Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at using ballistic missiles for tactical purposes. Now the reason I thought this would be kind of an interesting idea was after playing with the tactical missiles last time, I said a lot of these weapons are actually bearing only launches or you could do them directly against a target. So I immediately said, well wait a minute, does that mean we can use the ballistic missiles like it's kind of like a pinpoint strike kind of tool that you can't touch? And I said, well let's try. So what I've done here is I've created a pretty basic scenario. We're up here in California again, and I have myself a little special ops guy, and we have of course, the CVN 65 Enterprise here, chilling in some water. Coming down here, we have a battery of many of these SSMs. These are ballistic missiles. This is the SS-26. For me, there is Condors. That's a pretty unique ballistic missile, by the way. It has, let me just open it up real fast here, kind of a fun little quirk here, and I want to see if I can find it. Let's see here. Does it have the one? Yes. You'll notice that it's a weapon with a warhead that has ECM built into it, which just makes it kind of, okay, that's a little different. Let's see what that does. And of course, what I also did is I created a little drone, and this drone is basically doing donuts right now, keeping an eye on our little target airport here. So let's go ahead and unpause real fast. And what I'm hoping is that our drone with our ESM technology will be able to identify some non-precise targets. One of my Spec Ops batteries did, and it looks like my drone is going to acquire these momentarily later. Yep, so our ESM has done a really nice job here, and that's exactly what I was hoping would happen. So we know there were two targets somewhere in this region that we're interested in. They could be on this runway. They could really be anywhere at this base. Obviously, they're very valuable targets. Taking a quick look here, if we do a contact report, you can see one of them is obviously a Big Bird radio, could be a radio, I don't know. It's a Big Bird radar, and if I come to this one over here, this is an SA-22. So that's good to know. Obviously, those targets are in here somewhere. So we're going to saturate the region with a bunch of ballistic missiles and see if we can find a lucky target, kind of a thing like that. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to try using ballistic missiles against a surface vessel. I don't think this is possible, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I'm going to grab one of my batteries right here. Go ahead and press Control F1, which is going to give me a manual targeting option. I'm going to go ahead and click right in the center of the Enterprise, and I'm going to go ahead and press one of these buttons here. All right, let's find out what happens. Off they go. So these weapons are, like I said, sort of unique as far as missiles goes. They're all going to go popping up into the upper atmosphere like they do. Because these are relatively short-range ballistic missiles compared to a lot of the ones that we normally see, they're not going to get nearly as high as some of the other ones. Of course, when I say things silly like that, like nearly as high, what I'm actually referring to is some pretty serious altitude here. So if I look at it from the side real quick, that's my RQ. That's the guy doing all the hard work here. Hey, I wanted to look at this. Yeah, we're up pretty high. Like, don't let anyone kid you here. The folks in California just saw this nice little white streak coming by. So again, we're using a manual launch against this target. This was not an automatic launch on account of the fact that you can't really do an automatic launch against a surface vessel. It's not considered a valid target for this type of ballistic missile. Now, some of you out there might go, what about the Dauphin, the ballistic missile that can target carriers? Oh yeah, we've dealt with him on other days. All right, here we go. So we've got these weapons re-entering orbit here. They're probably moving pretty quick. Let's see here. That's Mach 6. I don't think the carrier is really going to get much of a shot here. Coming in. They're going to go right past the good old-fashioned Golden Gate there. Go flying right over downtown. Everybody's going to freak out when they see this thing come scooting in. Now remember, we attack this with a bearing launch. This is not what I would consider a precise... Ooh, ho. Did that just happen? I believe it did. So, we use ballistic missiles against a still aircraft carrier, and I'm not going to lie, I think I actually did some damage there. I'm just floored by this. So my Enterprise now is it's quarter damaged, which isn't bad. Systems are definitely scraped up. Let's take a look at the damage control here. We got a bunch of things. We damaged all the air facilities, well, of course, because it kind of hit the top. It basically probably hit the deck, and we set it on fire. So, okay. All right, I was really not expecting that. So we know now, if you're stupid enough to park your vehicles, you are now in missile range for these kind of weapons. Nice, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think that's actually pretty cool. All right, let's swing back around again. I'll grab our little, I don't know what we're doing over here. I think that's 0, that's why. Let's go zoom back in and grab our units. All right, let's go take a look. So we have our guys all ready to set up, and I didn't realize I was right in the middle of the famous sunken gardens with my batteries here, which is kind of amusing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom out here. We'll go take a look over in Nevada, and we'll see what my two little drones. I made a quick little tweak here to see if I can make it a little bit easier to take the shot. So let's go see what we've got. So we're just kind of spinning around our little generic ESM technology here. What I had to actually do is go onto each one of these drones and strip it of all its expensive stuff, like its flare and things, just to make this fair, because I really want to take an ESM shot here. I don't want to take a shot based on visual whatevers. So let's see here. Did we acquire this? Oh, one of you still has flare. Interesting. Which one of you kept your flare? You did not, which means you must have kept your flare. Ah, my mistake. All fixed. All right. My bad. All right, let's go ahead and remove both of those. Go ahead and unpause again. Let them spin around in circles. There it is. Nice. That's better. Cool. So now we have two very, very non-precise targets. I'm going to let them keep running to see if they can get a more precise target. Remember, I stripped off all the precise targeting systems. And now we're going to try to use our battery to basically saturate the region and see if we can get the SAM sites. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here. We've used him before, but no big deal with that. Come swing over here, and we have some confidence as to the position. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. So it looks like he's somewhere in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my favorite little pattern here. And I'm going to go ahead and basically do a kind of a thing like this. A smarter version of me, of course, would come in here and mark little reference points to let me know exactly which one of these points I've actually attacked already. But I'm going to try to just saturate this whole region. I think I have one more left. Yeah, that's it. Basically, fire like a kind of a grid pattern right in this kind of a zone like that. Trying to get a shot at him kind of a thing. So let's go ahead and unpause. Let's wait for the weapons to fire. Off they go. Going up. And I know several of you are saying, well, why did the other ones not fire? Well, the other ones didn't fire because they're not ready to fire yet. It takes them a minute to actually get these things ready to fire. That's just kind of one of those things that you have to kind of keep in mind. All right, let's let those go up. Going up. Yep, there they go. On the way, let's see here. They're going to start re-entering the orbit here. Looks pretty good, looks pretty good. Flying down, I don't want to accelerate time too much because otherwise I'll miss the fireworks here. And unfortunately, we've gotten more and more confident on the position of that one right there. And it looks to me like I'm a little off base here. You can actually see that I'm probably... Oh, there goes the RVs. Now, of course, if there's anything in there that's designed to engage ballistic weapons, they'd be scrambling right now to go ahead and try to engage said ballistic weapons. So we're just going to let this kind of drop back in. If I had a third vehicle, I could probably get a more precise shot here. And here they come. Boom. I don't think... Oh, I hit something. All right, let's go let that come down again. Let's try this again. Here comes my next round. And bam, 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 bam. Nice. It looks like we hit something. Let's go ahead and pause for a second, switch to the other side, and see if I actually hit anything. I don't actually know what I hit here. I made a lot. Oh, the radar's gone. Oh, okay. So incredibly, my technique there of using ESM and then following up with ballistic missiles worked perfectly. I'm actually sort of surprised by this. I know there are people out there saying, yeah, that's one of the perfect uses of this weapon. And I'm like, but I don't know. I'm just impressed. I didn't realize my strategy was actually going to work. All right, let's grab another one. Of course, that cost us 8 very expensive ballistic missiles to do that. And let's go ahead and see if we can get this one too. So he must be down here somewhere. Again, I'll do my little grid pattern here. Go ahead and pop one here, go pop one here, come down here, pop one here, do one of these, and of course we'll do one of these, and I think I have one. I'll give you one in the middle just for science, and then I'll put one up here, although I know I've saturated this region with a bunch of those already, so I'm pretty confident there's not going to be anything. Of course, we now know where all the bad guys are as far as aircraft goes, so while we're being annoying, let's continue being annoying. Grab this one and this one. Let's group you two together. I need to borrow you for something, please. Zoom back in. This is some fancy zoom in. Shift F1, click. Now look, we know exactly where the different aircraft are. You get a ballistic missile. You get a ballistic missile. Let's see here. You all get one ballistic missile each. That looks pretty good. How am I up to? I'm up to 7. You get a ballistic missile. Whoops, sorry. Looks like I didn't double click it. No, I have to double click here. Gotcha. All right, switch to the other one here. You get a ballistic missile. And you get a ballistic missile. And we'll give you one of those too. And I don't know, let's just allocate the rest of them just sort of randomly. Boop. That should do it. Unpause. So what I've just done here is I've targeted some in that region. I've also targeted a bunch at the different positions in the airfield. Speed up time a little bit carefully. There we go. That looks pretty good. Here they come re-entering orbit. Remember, my first initial blast here was designed to target whatever this is, which I believe is a Greyhound, if I recall. Yeah, it's a Greyhound. So it's coming in. Missiles are arriving. Whoa! Wham! I don't think I got it. I almost guarantee I didn't get it because it's still visible on the map here. But of course, I probably knocked out half of their aircraft with that strike. Whoop! You can see he's pinging away with his radar there, which doesn't surprise me. I hate to tell you, buddy, but you got trouble coming. Oh! Wow. I believe they call that combat pragmatism. That's winning without fighting. Incredibly, though, our S-21, who's been chilling here in the entire time, the SA-21, I should say, has just been chilling, and he's feeling pretty confident right now. But as you can see, we wiped out nearly every single one of the targets that we struck with those very, very large warheads, and this guy just he couldn't do anything. He was just worthless because he was unable to actually engage targets that were re-entering the atmosphere at that speed. So this has been an interesting experiment. I'm actually kind of glad I took some time to experiment with this one. Of course, we have those silly drones there, and I can't even engage them because they don't have the ability to get enough target lock on them to actually attack them regularly. I think there's a lot of takeaways here. I think the first one is that why bother sending an airplane when I could send something that's coming in at Mach 6? The second thing we discovered is even though I didn't have a precise target, I could basically saturate an entire area and blast it, assuming, of course, I had that many weapons. And I'm sure the digital Russian army is going to send me the digital bill for all that, too, for the amount of damage that I caused versus, the risk that I put everybody at. But like I said, I'm thoroughly impressed. We also saw that we were able to strike a carrier and actually smack it really, really, really good. And there's a lot of implications of this tactically, and I'll have to explore it a little bit more. But other than that, enjoy.